So I've been working on a short film as of late, and I just found a plugin that might have just changed my editing game when it comes to it. This footage has been sitting in the editing room for quite some time, and it's just because something felt like it was missing, and now, because of this, I know why. So a couple months ago, a company called Dehancer reached out to me and told me about their plugin software. For those who don't know, Dehancer is kind of a film emulation plugin made for Premiere Pro, DaVinci, Lightroom, all the different editing softwares that you can do that kind of emulates and helps present the film or the film look on top of digital footage. I think it's really designed to help replicate the color, grain, and imperfection that comes with film stock, giving videos and photos a more cinematic and organic film look. So Dehancer reached out to me, asked me if I wanted to try their plugins, and here we are. Of course I said yes. Like, who doesn't love the film look? So I tested out two main plugins. I tested out the Premiere Pro version and the Lightroom version as well. For both plugins, the Premiere Pro version and the Lightroom version, I found their interface to be very clean and intuitive, which is something that I really appreciated. I don't really like overcomplicating things when you don't have to. And for all the nitty-gritty and technical terms that you can interchange with the film look, Dehancer really simplifies all of that, making the user experience, I think, pretty easy. All of the different presets and color combinations are based on different film looks, such as Kodak, Fuji, and so on. And they really have a variety of different looks and styles to choose from, which is great. And something that I really grew to appreciate about it the more that I used it was, unlike a LUT for Premiere Pro or a preset that you would use in Lightroom, that just I felt like really looked at only the colors of it. This added a layer of characteristics about film, such as the grain, the blooming, all these different things that you can really fine tune for your photos or your videos to help create the desired look without really having to import it into Photoshop and add more textures and add more layers. It just simplified everything, making it all in one and just having a plugin to do it. You'll see on screen here some examples of me using it and how realistic of a film look it does deliver. And what I will admit was a little overwhelming at first from the variety of options that they give you, from different aesthetics, different features that you can do. I do like having the options, but being thrown into it can be a little overwhelming, especially if you don't know what you're looking for. But I love that you can make it as simple or use as many or as few as the features as you want. If you just want a certain film color look, just choose that. If you just want to add a film grain to your photos, just do that. And if the project desires it, you can bring as many elements as you want, or as few. It really does give you a lot of options, and that can be overwhelming, as I said, for many people. But I think better to have the choices and saying, oh, why didn't they have this? Or they should have had this feature, and you just simply not using it instead of like, it should have been there in the first place. You know what I mean? One of my favorite features that Dehancer offers that I really just wanted to highlight because it saved me so much time in some of my projects, and it will in the future, is the overscan feature. And that's pretty much just an overlay that you put on your footage that makes your footage look like it's on a film reel. They had super 8mm options, ultra panavision options, and so many more to choose from for vertical and horizontal video or photo. When I tell you that I used to go and manually create like 5 or 6 or even 7 different layers in my Premiere Pro files to create kind of that film grain 8mm look on top of my already existing footage, which would just crash my computer half the time, to now I can probably do it in about 2 or 3 clicks and it's already embedded into Premiere Pro and it's just a simple plugin. Like, game changer. I can't even begin to describe it. And because it's so simple to use that overscan feature, unlike it was previously for me doing it manually all by myself, now I'm more inclined to do stuff like that. And it's something that I wanted to incorporate into my short film that I'm working on, but I tried to steer away from it because I knew it'd be a lot of work and I didn't know if the footage or the computer could handle it. And now like come on. And if my experience using the Dehancer Premiere Pro and Lightroom plugins wasn't great and easy enough, there's also an iOS app as well. Take everything that was great from the iOS system and put it in your palm of your hands, making traveling on the go, taking photos, and not having access to this so much easier and more convenient as well. I know for bigger projects, obviously, I'm always bringing my camera around, but for those little ones where you want to be able to add a little bit of film grain, add that overscan like I talked about, or even just kind of getting the color theme for, a retro night with your friends or something like that. Having that capability at your fingertips really is just the icing on the cake. So the final verdict, is Dehancer worth it? I would argue abso-freaking-lutely. I really haven't used a film emulation plugin that comes anywhere close to Dehancer, and not just in terms of the visuals and the look and what it's able to do, but also the functionality and the ease of it. I really do think it gives us such an authentic film feel, and it can really be used for any sort of project as well. I know I mentioned I'm using it for a short film, but you could use it for your YouTube videos. As I said, just hanging out with friends and sending those, printing off photos, anything. It really is versatile. That's what I love about it. Kind of like that one-stop shop where you are in Premiere Pro, or you are in Lightroom, and you want to, you know, add this final finishing touch to whatever video or photo you're working on. Simply clicking the plugin, adding it onto it. It's really easy, and it doesn't have me opening up 100 different tabs or different softwares. Everything is really embedded into one, easy to use, and great results. That being said, though, there are a few things I think you should keep in mind about Dehancer. The first being, it really is just that film emulation plugin. It really isn't going to game change your footage if you don't already have good footage. Don't expect this plugin to really just be the cure to your ugly or unpolished looking footage, because it's not that. It's simply something that you add on top of everything to really help enhance everything that's already been done. And if you go in knowing that, I think you'll get more out of it in the long run. And as I mentioned earlier on, because of the abundance of choice that you have in Dehancer, whether it be Premiere Pro, Lightroom, on the iOS app, whatever it may be, it can feel overwhelming, and it can feel a little bit of a learning curve at first, figuring out which tools do what, which grain will add this one, what does this tool do, I don't know this term, don't know this, blah, blah, blah. But I think once you get the hang of it and really play around with each one, also using the Dehancer website to kind of see on, you know, a professional level what these features do and how to use them, I think you'll reap the benefits. Some of those features, along with their somewhat higher price point, might steer some people away from it, but I truly do think if it is something that you know you're going to use and you want to emulate that film look and use it for photos, use it for videos, or a variety of different things, I do think it is well worth it. And this is all for me. This is all my opinion. Dehancer asked if I wanted to try it out. I said yes, but they said, you know, let us know your opinions, share your thoughts as openly and honestly as you can. So here I am doing that. So if all of this has enticed you to use or even check out Dehancer, awesome. If you do end up checking it out, the Dehancer team set me up with a great promo for 10% off your order. Please use MARCOPOLO for 10% off using Dehancer. Thank you, Dehancer, for that. Again, that discount code for 10% off is MARCOPOLO. So Dehancer I will definitely continue using, whether it be for my short films, the one that I'm working on, my YouTube videos, film photos, whatever it may be, whatever style, whatever option I want to do, I know Dehancer can do it, and that's why I'm going to stick with it. It truly is such a powerful plugin that gives such a great, authentic film look. And the film look is something that I absolutely love. But that's me. If you've used Dehancer, please let me know your thoughts. I'd be curious to know below. Again, use my discount code if you do end up checking out Dehancer. Thank you for watching. I'm Marco, and of course, ciao for now.